Good morning, thank you so much for joining me. My name's Heather Thomas, I'm the Songbird Stamper, and you're crafting with me either live or on the replay or on YouTube on a Friday morning. So thank you very much indeed for popping on. I was totally unplanned for today until about an hour ago, and I thought, well, I'd better probably sit down. Just had to go out and get my car. My car was serviced yesterday, I had to go and pick that back up again this morning. It's really windy out there. And I thought I'd better sit down and have a play. The only problem was there was way too much stuff that I wanted to play with. So we've ended up with a little bit of a mismatch with what I'm working with today. My desk is an absolute state before we've even kind of started. But it would be interesting to see what I come up with, hey? Let me see if I can grab this video up. I'll see who's with us. Hey Katie, nice to see you. Good morning Kay, nice to see you. And thank you to anybody else who is popping on. So I hope the weather is not too bad with you. Roll on summer. Personally, I've had enough of this wind and rain and miserable grey clouds. But yeah, I'm ready for a little bit of sunshine. So hopefully it will come soon. Yeah, it really is a bit of a mishmash. I mean, like, I've thrown everything at it, it seems. But hey ho, there we go. I'll spin you over in a second. What have I got going on at the moment? There's a fabulous joining offer at the moment. A lot of people get put off by the word joining offer, but honestly, becoming part of the Stampin' Up family was one of the best things I ever did. But that aside, if you just want to grab some new products, then now is the time. £154 worth of product for £99 is the offer that's on at the moment. And obviously we've just had a new catalogue launch. There's loads of new goodies in there. Good morning Anita, good morning Claire, nice to see you. I am contemplating, well, more than contemplating really, I've got my first in-person class lined up on the 11th of June, Friday evening. So if anybody does fancy that, I've got one space available because there's only going to be 5 of us around the table. And we'll be playing with the new Expressions in Ink suite of products, which will be fabulous. I think that's £30 for the 3-hour class, and you get half a pack of papers, you get 2 fabulous chocolate bars because we're going to be making a chocolate treat box. You'll get some ephemera packs, so you get loads of stuff and card stock to take home with you. Good morning Sue, nice to see you joining us this morning. So yeah, that's Friday the 11th of June, so to that end, I don't have any online classes planned. Sad times, huh? Yeah, I just needed to take a little bit of a break from it, I think. So there we are. I may do the a replay of that as a online class, but I'm really not sure. Good morning, Paula. Good morning, Sandy. Nice to see you all. And hopefully we will be back with larger in-person classes later in the summer, which will be good. That will be really good. So I'm hoping the internet is better for us today. I've hardwired in, so we should be getting a good clear picture with some good sound. If we're not, do let me know. But hopefully, fingers crossed, all will be well. I'm going to spin you over and we'll get some crafting done, I think. Try not to make too seasick, but this process is sometimes a little bit wobbly. I haven't really got it down 100%. Not keen to go in person yet. No, I know you're not going to be alone there, Sue. You're not going to be alone at all. So yeah, I'm tempted to take my product-based class to an in-person class, to an online class. But we shall see. We shall see. I just needed to do something different. I am very much kind of person that gets bored incredibly quickly. Sorry, messages, people messaging me, and I don't know how to, I should mute it really. But there we go. So yeah, I get bored really quickly, so I need to do new things. I wanted to play with this stamp set today, Shaded Summer. I also wanted to play with some masks, some stencils, which we've got 4 fabulous new stencils, all in the same pack. So you get this whole pack of stencils. This one's going to be great for mermaid. This is the one I'm using today. This is going to be great for mermaidy, the sea theme. I've done a few things with that, but I'm going to do a few more. This one's fab, look, because you can use all these different ones individually, or you could use them as a whole as a background. I know, I've made so many new friends online. All of us have, so it's been amazing for that, isn't it? How the network has grown incredibly online. It's been amazing. And I don't want to lose that, but yeah, I do get bored easily. Give it a couple of months and I'll be happy to go back online again. But I just I'm bored and I need something different. And then that's just the way I am. And then I wanted to play with these dies as well. These are the iconic dies. Most of them are out on my desk actually. You get these awesome mushrooms. Morning Rachel, morning Mo. Oh, lovely to have so many of you joining us. Thank you. So these are awesome. I'm putting an order in today, by the way, so if anybody local needs anything, do give me a shout. I was supposed to do it a few days ago. Oh, life just happens, doesn't it? So these are the iconic dies. They're £27, I think. But, I mean, where else can you get a whole set of mushrooms, birds, bees, flowers, leaves? Loads and loads of stuff in there for us to use. And the masks, I think the masks are £7.50. But I might be wrong. I'm just trying to have a quick little look. So I wanted to kind of use all those things today and put them together. I think I might have managed it. We'll see. Yeah, £7.50 for the masks, which I think is really good value. All 4 of those in a pack. You need to learn to set up to do videos. Oh, bless you, Sue. You just bought these? Awesome. You're going to love them. You're going to absolutely love them. Yeah, videos, the more you get used to it, the more... It's same with anything new, isn't it? It's like muscle memory. I had to drive a new car yesterday because I got a courtesy car. And it's like, oh, the clutch feels weird and I don't like it, and I've nearly stalled it, and I put the windscreen wipers on instead of the indicators. But you know what? You just get on and you do it, and it gets better. So I thought, colour-wise, I need to go to a support group. I really, really do, because we've got Polished Pink back out again, with Fresh Freesia again, and I bought in Granny Apple Green. But you're going to see me do something a little bit strange with the Granny Apple Green, because it's a bit bright to go with these two. YouTube, Sue. YouTube is your friend. How to set up for a Facebook Live. Yeah, that's definitely the place to go to figure it all out. So all I've got is a piece of Whisper White cardstock. This is 14 by 10, and I've got this mask. Now I'm using the Scotch removable tape, this one, to just kind of put the mask down in place. Oh no, that's upside down. Oh, that piece is. And then just tape it over. Make sure you don't tape right over the corner. You just want to tape your mask in place. You could hold it. If you don't have any tape, you could use some washi tape or anything like that. But I'm just using this removable tape. But it's not holding my cardstock down, so you do need to still be a little bit careful that you don't move the cardstock underneath. And I've got these awesome blending brushes. I've got 3. I tend to use kind of one for pinks, one for purples, one for greens. I think we're getting a good picture on Facebook today, which is fabulous. Well, I say I hardwired our internet in. Rusted it for me, bless him. Up in the loft, chasing the cables down. So I've got the Polished Pink and the Fresh Freesia. And what I'm going to do is just pick up some ink. Can you see I'm just rubbing it around on the top? These are going to need re-inking soon, I think, because I have used quite a lot of blending and ink with them. And I always kind of start off the page, and I'm just popping some ink down. And just trying to make sure that mask doesn't move out of place as I do so. And I tend to work in 3s, so I've done a little section of purple here, and then I'm going to do a little section of it here. Yes, I think this does need a bit of re-inking again. And then I'll do a little section here as well. Hey Fiona, nice to see you. All I do with my lives is well, all I used to do was a phone, but I wasn't really getting a great outcome, Sue. So you kind of upgrade as you go. I've now got a little camera, I've got a vlogging camera. That's how I do my lives. This is the polished pink then, and I'm just going in and blending into the purple. You can go over it or you cannot. Choice is yours. Filling in those gaps. Some areas are going to be darker here. Some areas are going to be lighter, but that all adds to the effect. Love, love, love this. I once did this background with tape, and I cut all the little strips of tape up and I laid them all across the page, and it looks fab. Oh my word, is this easier? So much easier. Oops, look, I've got a horrible fingerprint there. Never mind. We'll figure that out. And I'm just going to go back in with some fresh freesia here as well. Just to darken that up a little bit. Oh, the blending brushes are awesome, aren't they? Really, really lovely to work with. So when I lift this away now, this is when you're going to get the full result. And it looks amazing. Even with my inky splodge, doesn't that look amazing? Absolutely love it. Yeah, I've got ink all over my fingers. So let me spin that over, turn the good paper over, and that's what you're left with. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, really, really, I mean, that's so time consuming trying to do all that with little strips of tape. Mask, so much easier. And this is my other favourite one as well. In the greens and the blues, and then with a sea theme. But we're going to stick with this one here today. So then what I've got is this shaded summer stamp set. And I've used this little one here. And I've gone for the marker technique. So if you've not seen this before, I think it works much, much better on the red rubber than the photopolymer. I've just got a little piece of Whisper White cardstock. It's so pretty, isn't it? Yeah, it's really lovely. And then I've got my 3 markers, Granny Apple Green, Fresh Freesia and Polished Pink again. Again, love the way that they all coordinate. One of my huge highlights of Stampin' Up! Is that I no longer have to search for things that match. They all just match. So I'm just going to go in now. This is the marker technique, and I've got the Granny Apple Green marker, and I'm going to colour all my green bits. So all the foliage, all the stems, just pick those out with that Granny Apple Green. All the leaves here. Try not to, oh look, try not to do what I've just done there, and if you do, just rub it off with your finger. All I've done is just gone over the flower where it should have been a different colour, and I've done it here as well, so just wipe those off. Then with the Fresh Freesia, I'm just doing these little buds. And because these are water-based markers, you can't do this with your alcohol markers, it just won't work. Again, there's a little stem in there that I've missed, so you can just pop some ink on there. And then this is the Polished Pink, and I'm doing the largest flower here in the Polished Pink colour. Just breathe on it slightly, that just reactivates the ink. Stamp that down, and then you've got that gorgeous, gorgeous multicoloured effect. You think where the white is from the mask, the glitter leaves would look pretty. Oh, they would look pretty. Yes, the glitter, you could put some Tombow glue and put some of the gilding flakes. Sadly, the gilding flakes in our market are out of stock. Unavailable. Which is really sad because they're beautiful. So love, love, love the marker effect, and you can get some really nice looks. What it also does is it gives you more of a whitewashed look to it. So if you're looking for a watercolour look, and it works really well with this inked background, I think. So I have fussy cut that out. I'm not going to make you sit and watch me fussy cutting it. There's one I did earlier. Then I've also used these iconic dies. I've probably maybe done a little bit too much prep, to be honest, because I've die cut everything already. I've die cut one of these flowers, the big one. That's in the... I just didn't want you to watch me doing all my cranking on the camera. This is the largest flower. Then I've cut one of these smaller flowers. It's a gorgeous stamp, isn't it, this one, the Shaded Summer. There's this one as well, which is lovely. Really beautiful. I've cut, this is out of the Shimmer Vellum. This is from the fern leaf here, but I've cut that out of the Polished Pink Shimmer Vellum, which is super pretty. I hope you can see that. Again, just going for that more washed out look. It's really pretty, Jenny, isn't it? Now what I've done next, let me show you a little thing. I wanted some Granny Apple Green in with this mix of dyes that I've got, but just everything I cut out was too dark. Can you see how the Granny Apple Green can be quite a dark colour when that's the cardstock? So what I did was take a little bit of Whisper White card. Just need a little bit because all I want to do is cut out this mushroom. Isn't it Zana? It is Zana, isn't it? I've totally forgotten. I'm so sorry. I don't think it's Zaina, but I might be wrong. And I've got my Granny Apple Green ink, and what I'm going to do is pick up some of that ink and colour in essentially this piece of white, making sure I don't get any of that pink on there. And you can go darker at the bottom, and you can create like an ombre effect with the blending brushes. Just by putting more ink down at one side. Can you see how I'm putting multiple coats down and then leaving it kind of white at the top here? And then what I've got is my die. I will die cut this one. I'm just going to pop that on so the top half is on the white and the bottom half is on the darker section. My little mini cut and emboss machine, which I love, love, love. It is well loved. I must admit my big one doesn't come out very often now because most of our dies actually fit in here. Crank that through. Once is probably enough. It cuts beautifully. Whereas some of the other little ones that I've had just don't cut that well. And then what you end up with is like an ombre mushroom in the Granny Apple Green, but not quite as dark. Again, going in with that kind of washed out effect. So there's the one I did earlier, which was a little bit darker. Put a bit more ink on that one. And there's this one that I've just made now. So I love doing that. I think that's a really effective... I should have kept one side of my grid paper clean, shouldn't I? Not very good at keeping anything clean, me. And then what I've done is taken some dies. I've used the Stitched So Sweetly dies. Beautiful set of frames and shapes. They all kind of layer in together, which is gorgeous. And I've taken two of those. This is the kind of scalloped stitched frame. And I've cut them both out in Whisper White, 1 and 2. I've got a card base of basic white, sorry, not Whisper White anymore, as it's changed. Basic white. This is 10.5 by 20. Sorry, 21 by 14.5. So 21 along that way by 14.5. Scored at 10.5. And then our background is going to fit straight on there. So I'll grab some glue. I'm not worrying about my little fingerprint. Anybody who knows me knows that things are handmade. Things end up with little imperfections. But You know, that's just the way it is. Once you've got everything together, you'll barely see it anyway. What's my stomach rumbling? We had a day out yesterday. We went to a National Trust property, which was lovely. Had a pasty for lunch and a brownie for pudding. And then we went to go and see Russ's mum and stepdad, who were staying in the caravan site with their caravan. So we went to go and see them and had fish and chips for tea. Had a game. Oh, it was a lovely, lovely evening. But I have hugely overeaten and I'm now paying the price. So no breakfast for me. And I'll just have a light lunch, I think. So I've got these two dies here. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to put them on, whether I'll put them on with dimensionals or not. But we'll start to decorate this one here, I think. So I've got these dies. I've got this bit which I cut out. Another flower. This fern leaf which can come up. Basically, like I said, I've thrown the kitchen sink at it. We've got everything going on, so I'm just going to start to stick a few bits down, I think. This shimmer vellum is so pretty. It really does add a nice touch to it. And I've not glued all the way up. It is going to raise up slightly, but that is fine by me. Just sticking this base down, kind of where everything else is going to be layered over. Just trying to decide the placement. A little bit of Tombow glue. If you do struggle with these fine dies, then you've got a couple of options. You've got this one here is a good glue. As long as you keep the nozzle to the card, you'll only get a little bit of glue out. If you wanted the fine tip glue though, that you can use that, or you can die cut with some adhesive sheets at the same time. They're quite handy for these intricate little dies. That's just going to stick on there like that. So whether I want dimension on any of it, that's the question. And I think I probably do. Can't go wrong with a little bit of dimension, can you? Probably ought to use these up. The colours are gorgeous, aren't they? And I really love that muted granny apple green. I think it just works so much better than the darker, harsher cardstock colour. But you still get that same tone, so you know it's going to match. So I'm just using up the edges of my dimensional sheet. Ah, you like. Thank you guys. Hopefully it will all come together nicely. So they go on the back there. Now I've just got to peel all the backings off. Oh, I hope you can't hear my belly. It's making some real funny noises. And that one's just going to kind of hang off the edge like that. We'll pop this one on. So this is just covering up the bottom here. Can you see? It might just want a little dimensional. I've got one. Again, I've just got a little edge. So I'm just going to pop that on there, which is just going to support the edge of my die cut, and then I'll pop some glue on the top bits here. And then we can have our mushroom We might put the mushroom on in a minute. Oh, thank you, Sue. I spent a long time, and I still do. I watch a lot of videos. I dedicate a lot of time to learning. So I'm going to pop this one onto this one with dimensionals as well. Yep, so I dedicate a lot of time to learning crafting and all the different techniques and what kind of works together. It's fascinating for me to go back and see, because I've been crafting probably, I keep saying to people it's 3 years, but it's probably not, it's probably about 5 years now. And it's fascinating for me to go back and see my earlier makes and how my crafting style has developed over the course of those years. And I take part in other people's classes, and yeah, I love learning. Always learning. So that's going to go in the middle of that one. So I went with white and white because I felt like we had quite a lot of colour already on this piece with the background. You watch more videos than you craft. I know, isn't that always the way? And then this little fellow is going to go on here, I think. I just liked that touch of green. So again, I might just pop a little dimensional. I've got some mini ones. Under here, so pop that just on there. And then I might put 2 just right in here. So I've put 2 because obviously we've stacked up on dimensionals this high with 1, and I want it to be this high with a second. So I've had to go for 2 dimensionals on that one, and then just some glue around the rest of it. About there, I think. And then this is going to go flat. You were looking through so many of your old stuff and found the card you made at the Make It show where you introduced you to Stampin' Up. Yes! Oh, isn't that a nice memory? Yes, I went to the Make It show. Was it 2019, I think? I had a really, really good time, actually. I didn't know if I would enjoy it or not because it's quite a big show. Loads of people, but I had a blast. And again, I learnt so much from the people that I was doing the stall with. So that's going to go on there, just like that. And then I have used another stamp set, obviously, because, you know, what we've used so far wasn't enough stuff. I have used the Biggest Wish stamp set. I've seen some really cool stuff done with this stamp set, but all I've done is taken the words hello and the word friend. I haven't yet worked out if I want both of them or not. Thank you, Sue. It's a real mishmash. So I don't know whether I just want the word friend. So I think I'm going to go with that one first. Stick that all down. Across the top here. Ah, 2018 might well have been. Gosh, Anne-Marie, look at where, honestly, where does the time go? I thought I only joined Stampin' Up in 2000 and I don't know. I get so lost with it all. Honestly, time just flies by when you're having fun. So I've got some gems. And I'm not sure whether we'll use some in colour jewels or some basic rhinestone jewels. I'm not sure yet, so let's have a look and see which we fancy. So the silver might be a nice touch, I think, rather than the in colour ones, which are going to be more pinks and purples. I think the silver might just give it a bit of something different in there. Oh, the Make It's always a good show, isn't it? I know we went in 2020, literally just before lockdown, which was nice to... And then I was flying out to Japan the next day. So we're just going to pop a couple of these jewels on, I think. Yes, that looks pretty. And now I did tie a bow as well, but I don't know. It might be a bit overkill with a bow. I think, to be honest, I think it's gonna get lost in there. I don't really think it needs it. Make It how many of us have had Stampin' Up. Yeah, in person, definitely in the UK. Make It such a big event. Loads of crafters from the South Coast. So I think that's it for our card. Now I'm making a matching gift tag next, because why not, hey? Because we can. And because, again, I wanted to use more dies for Tailor Made Tags, because I haven't played with these yet either. So I've used 2. I love this set. So you get 4 dies. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And there is another one somewhere kicking around. It's a big one. Of this is a bigger one. And you get these little things as well, which I'll show you in a minute how they cut out. That was your first show in 2021, Claire. That was the first one you went to. Hopefully we'll have many more in the future. Thank you, guys. So what I've done is I've done exactly the same background. I won't go through that again. And I've cut it out with the largest of the tag size. And then I've cut out the second smallest one. So not the next size down, but the next one. This is totally inspired by something that my friend Katie Drew did. She made some tags and I saw them. I thought, oh, they're so pretty. So I have obviously mixed it up, changed it up, done something very different, but inspired by Katie. So thank you. This is the little tag topper. And it just makes it all that bit stronger, gives you a bit of coordinating cardstock across the top. And you get that awesome stitching all the way around the outside. So I'm just going to stick this on as straight as I can possibly get it. And then this white one is going to go over the top up here. Things. Whole reinforcement pieces. Yes, Katie. Whole reinforcement pieces. Although, to be honest, I don't think it needs much reinforcement. I think it's decorational as well. I used to say in the forces, I'm decorational, not operational. There we go. And then I've got this leaf was created in the same way as this mushroom. So I've got that nice ombre effect. And look how different it is to the darker granny apple green. Really, really love that. The mushrooms are cut straight out of the cardstock though. One big one, one small one. I can't remember how I had them. You know when you get an alignment of something, you think, oh, I love that. And then you take it away. I can't remember how you did it. Something like that. So let's pop this leaf on. It's this gorgeous fern. You could do so much just with this die. Cuts out beautifully. No, decorational, not operational. There's quite a few things in the military, I think, that are decorational, not operational. There we go. Right, pop those on. Oh, I'm not sure. Just bear with me while I faff a little bit. That's got to go over that side, hasn't it? Because I've got the bigger... There we go, like that, I think. Let's go for it. It's got to be balanced. No, you don't want all of your interest in over one side. Gorgeous dies, aren't they? Yeah, I do like these. The iconic dies. I'm not sure I've put enough up here. And I've just got this word hello, which obviously didn't make it onto this card. So that could go up there, couldn't it? Could go straight up there. Oh, I don't know. I had it really looking how I wanted it, and then I moved it all. See what that looks like there. Yep, I'm going to go there. Watching it work with no sound on, but you love them. Ah, bless you. Yeah, I sometimes have to do that too. And luckily we're a visual, crafting is a visual thing, so you should get most of it. That's just going to stick on over there, and I'll pop a few gems on, and that will help to balance that out, I think, if I put 2 of these gems up the top here. And then we'll put one just down there. There's our 2 projects. I'm just going to pop some ribbon through. I've cut some of this coordinating fresh freesia ribbon in a bit of a cow's tail. Yeah, I didn't go with the top, Katie. I went for it. So loop it and then pop it through, put the loop through, and then make a hole here. Pop both those bits through, and then pull that nice and tight. And then some ribbons work really well. This one's actually really tying well. Some won't though, and you'll need to pop a little glue dot underneath. And then just trim those to the length that you want them. And there's our little card and matching gift tag. Now you could put the bow. That looks quite nice actually. You could either tie it right round, or you can attach it on with a glue dot. I don't know if I've got enough now to tie it all the way around, so I'm just going to pop that on with a little glue dot, if I can find them. I've lost a whole packet of glue dots somewhere. And then this new packet, oh no, this must be the old packet. I've got a new packet, and they're not on the roll, they're all on the strip, which I need to see. I need to see if that's right or not. I'm used to them being on the roll. So little glue dot, and then stick that down on there like that. Super duper simple. Well, loads of elements. This is super duper simple, but all it's just a bit of die cutting, some ombre sponging for the leaves and the mushroom. So we've done a lot of techniques here today, actually, haven't we? Some marker technique for this, and then some stenciling on the background. So it is only 22. It's 22:11. We've done that quickly because I had prepared quite a lot. So I'm going to show you the other mask, I think, and we might make a start on making a sea themed card. So I've got Coastal Cabana, Bermuda Bay and Granny Apple Green. I need some more cardstock, so bear with me. Ah, thank you, Mo. Ably assisted by some very lovely colours and products. 10 by 14 again. The only thing I'll say when masking, if you're working with greens and you've already got green ink on here, that's fine. But if I was to be working with greens on this side where I've got pink, this is probably fine because only a little bit. But sometimes when you work on your grid paper and you end up, or your scrap paper, and you end up with loads and loads of ink on there, then when you sponge over it, you can pick up and transfer that ink across. So just be careful with the colours that you've got underneath, is what I will say. And on your masking tape as well. So I'm going to use some fresh tape, if I can find it, in amongst this ridiculous mess. It all looks really tidy. Just on the camera. Oh look, I found the bigger die as well. There's the bigger die there. So again, just going to peel off some tape and lay it down, just making sure I don't cover up the corners of my cardstock. Now I only use one. I have got a spare blending brush. I could probably use that one for greens and another one for kind of turquoises, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter. So I'm putting a little bit of Coastal Cabana. Kind of like the fact that it's got a bit of green in there because that's what I'm going to add to the mix anyway. Bermuda Bay is quite a dark colour, so I might do that one after I've done my green. And then in between, just run it on your scratch paper. Get that green colour in there, which is gorgeous, mixed in with the Coastal Cabana. If you want it darker, just again be careful that it's not moving. Mine is moving ever so slightly here, so I'm just going to try and pop that back in place. If you want it darker, just put more on. I'm just going to try and hold this a bit better in place now. More layers. Bit of green over here. And then I'm going to go in with the Bermuda Bay. I don't really want it too dark. And go over the green sections, just give it a nice little mix in. Okay, so I'm keeping it fairly light. You could go in way more and do it much darker if you wanted to. And there's your background. Isn't that pretty? Love it. So that's our kind of, and I'm not sure which way up they should go really. It probably ought to go that way with the scales coming down. And I'm going to do something similar with this piece here. I'm hoping this is going to work. I haven't tried. This isn't tried and tested. I'm going to try and create like an ombre effect. It needs to be big enough. So let's start with some Granny Apple Green, I think. And again, I don't mind that all these kind of colours are mixed in with my brush. I don't want them mixed in on the ink pads. And then I'm just going in with a bit of Coastal Cabana. Again, just starting off the page here. And then some Bermuda Bay, that darker colour. Doesn't matter if you get a few brush marks on your page so much. And then what I'll do is work back upwards, so back up here with the Coastal Cabana, because that just helps to blend it all together. And then back in with the Granny Apple Green. Right, so we've got a kind of, doesn't look all that pretty, kind of a bit of a mess on the page. But I'm going to grab out the Sea Life, and I'm going to have a real mess to clean up after this. Got all the colours out and I've got all the dyes out. So I'm just going to trim this down. And I want the Sea Life dyes, wherever they are, Sea Life dyes. This is the new Seascape stamp set. So pretty. And oh my word, look at these dyes. So you get this seahorse, you get this fish. I've done some really nice samples for this because my first in-person large class is going to be using this set of products. And you get these two cute little fish. Oh, let's put them that way up and you can see them. This one's really pretty with the like the coral, and then you get this fish as well. Love, love, love. So I'm going to pop those just there because we're going to use some of those, and I'm going to cut out Mr. Seahorse out of our ombre effect paper that we've just created. Run him through, and he's not going to come out quite as you expect. And I'll show you what I mean. So he's still attached to the card at the moment, and the reason for this is because you can do some background, so it's just cut out the middle bit, and then you can pop up his head and his tail. So I haven't used this die like this yet, but that's the whole idea behind it, so that you can leave it attached, do this in white maybe, and then put a nice coloured background behind so that you'd be able to see. But the other thing that's amazing about this is that it's only attached at a few points, so to deattach it, all you need to do is trim. Trim, and then on the other side, just by his fin, trim there, and trim there as well, and then you've got your seahorse. So super easy, and lots of uses with that die, whereas if it was just a plain die like this, that's all you can have. So again, I'm going to stick with the same kind of layout, and I'm going to see what we can create using a similar layout. I've got my two Stitch So Sweetly dies here. I think I'm going to need another piece of this white. I don't think I've got any scraps big enough. Oh, actually that one might be. Yes, there we go. Is that class booked out? No, I haven't even started class booking for that one, Katie, with using this Seascape. That's going to be the Friday, which will suit you perfectly, the Friday in person. We think we're going to, I might do an all-day class for that one, and that will be sometime in July, when we're allowed, obviously, if everything kind of get back to normal, and the community centre is open, which it is opening for smaller classes now, and larger classes whenever we're allowed to do so. And it's going to be like a kind of watercolour based class, but we'll do some blending as well. or I might switch it to a blending class. I haven't really decided an awful lot at the moment, to be honest. I'm kind of going with the flow a little bit. You'd like that one, Katie. I think it's going to be popular. It's nice to do something a little bit different. I love flowers, but I know it is, flowers can get a bit repetitive. So I've got my Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I'm just again sticking with the same principle, and this is a really good technique for your card making. If you've made something that you like the look of, then mix it up a little bit. Try and change the theme or the design slightly, but stick to the same layout, or choose the same colours but change the layout, so you get loads and loads of options. So what I'm going to try and do is cut out this little fish, I think. So I'm going to stamp him and then cut him out. Oh no, he's not there. Where is he? He's already out. And that's going to go into Coastal Cabana, I think. But again, we could do marker technique, couldn't we? We could do a marker technique. Let's grab the Granny Apple Green and the Coastal Cabana, I think. I don't want to go too dark. Oh, that's pool party. I want to try and keep it nice and light. So I'm going to do his body in the Coastal Cabana. And then his fins and tail in the Granny Apple Green. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's pretty. So he's going to look quite tall on there. Fun, isn't it? It's a nice fun set, this one, and works really well with that stenciled background. I love that. And then I'm going to have a little look at those fishy dies, I think, and see if I can, oops, cut a little bit of his tail off. Don't want too much on this one, actually. The other one was really busy, but I'm going to stick with a more kind of laid back look, I think. So I'm actually going to go with some white fish. Because I think any of the other darker colours are going to be too much. Yeah, it looks so soft and pretty at the moment. I want to keep it quite gentle. These are quite good because there's two dies, so they cut out two fish at a time. Ah, thank you, Sue. Getting very messy. So we've got one fish going one way, and we've got one fish going another way. Yeah, and I think that's kind of all we need, really. We can stamp a sentiment. Got another little scrap here. I might just stamp the thanks, I think. There's a lovely font thanks in this stamp set. This is again from the Biggest Wish stamp set. And I will stamp that, I think, in, I might go for Bermuda Bay just so that it stands out really. It's going to be quite dark. That might be okay. And then fussy cut this one out. The for anybody who knows Stampin' Up, the incentive trip is happening at the moment in Maui. For those that don't know, if you score a certain amount of points, I think is probably the easiest way of putting it, throughout your Stampin' Up year. That's by selling, by helping people join Stampin' Up, and by the success of your team. Then you can earn points and go on an incentive trip. And they're in Maui at the moment. Obviously the UK demonstrators, most of the European demonstrators can't go, but most of the American demonstrators have gone, and they're having a fantastic trip to be treated by Stampin' Up. It's kind of all expenses paid. They get lots of pillow gifts, they get lots of looks at the upcoming catalogue, which is the autumn-winter one. I know it's only spring, we haven't even had summer, but I must admit it feels more like autumn at the moment. So it's quite apt seeing all their pictures of all the kind of holiday products. We have to think early. In any business you do, you have to think ahead. So, but yeah, they look like they're having an amazing trip at the moment. A little bit jealous. I'd love to go one day. In the future. I need a new pair of scissors as well, I think. I must admit, I use these for too many different things. I should dedicate a pair just to fussy cutting, but I don't. I find this quite enjoyable. Just chilling out, having a chat with you guys, and doing a little bit of fussy cutting. I'm a bit addicted to this. Cutting round the words at the moment. Trim that off, make it a bit easier. But yes, they're not the sharpest of scissors anymore, which is sad. The trip looks fab, doesn't it? I know. There, looks amazing. Oh, it's not fair, Sandy. What, that I'm good at fussy cutting? Bless you. And that's going to go on top of there, just like that. So let's layer that all up together, I think. Put our little fish on first, so I don't forget where they go. Seems about there. It could be she's, I suppose. And then I'm not putting any glue on the tail of this one because this one was sticking off a little bit. Just on the side there. And then it was my seahorse. So again, just watching, I'm not going to put any glue, very top and very bottom. But everywhere else can have a little strip of glue on it. So windy. Oh, I have got scissors sharpeners. Thank you, Katie. Just need to. Like with everything else, just need to get on with it. So I love that seahorse. That looks really, really nice in that blended, really subtle colours. Oh, a bigger fish on there. He's going to go on dimensionals, I think. And then a sucker for punishment. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to stick down that word yet. So What have I done with my dimensionals? Let's get another packet. On it. Yeah, let's get another packet. Oh, the small ones. Where's all my big dimensionals gone? Use the edge of this packet. See, I cut my dimensionals up with them as well, which is really bad. That's probably why they're not so sharp anymore. Probably a bit sticky. And then maybe that one will fit there. Perfect. Oh yes, you can mix all sorts with the different cards. Especially with some of these sentiment stamps. I think that's going to go like that, but that means that I'm just going to need to put some dimensionals on, which is a nightmare when you're trying to do these. Like I said, glutton for punishment. So I'm trying to decide which bits are going to stick over. So the top of the H and the top of the K are going to go over my fish. So I just need some tiny little bits. Oh, it's so fiddly. I wouldn't recommend this unless you've got a degree in nanotechnology. So fiddly. But I think really worth it. Otherwise I wouldn't do it. Just got some really thin strips that I've cut into tiny little sections. Hopefully that's enough. Yeah, that feels like it's enough. Good. Peel off the backings of those. And just pop a little bit of glue on the top of these letters there. Line it up and stick it down. Easier said than done. There we go. And then this one can go on dimensionals again. I think we'll get a new pack. I've got a craft class I'm going to tonight virtually, so I need to have a bit of a tidy up I think before I do that one, and then a nice chilled out weekend, which will be lovely. I've got the blends class tomorrow, and then out to see Katie, which will be lovely on Sunday for an escape room. So that's going to go on there. That's going to stick on there just like we did before. So you can barely see my little fishies underneath, but I do think they add a little something to the party. I've got a card base, thick whisper white. I know, it's really nice just to do something that feels a little bit normal. Starting to, isn't it? Starting to do more and more things. People are starting to go out for dinner, which is nice. Still staying careful, but... And then score that at 10.5. Oh, you like this one, Anita? I'm pleased. Feels like it could do with some Wink of Stella as well, but I'm not going to overdo it. Glue that flat down. And then I will take some gems as well, some jewels. And we'll figure out where we're going to put those. Not sure really. Go in there. Yeah, that looks good. First for the blends class. Can't believe it's the last. I know, it's the last one. Until next year, I'm running another one. Not next year, later in the year. I'm running another blends. So if you want to know how to use your alcohol markers, loads of different tips, tricks, techniques, and a lot of fun as well, then I'll be doing a class in August, I think. Starting doing those, another one of those again, which will be brilliant. Taking a whole new round of people through from basic colouring all the way up to some quite advanced things that you can do with your blends. Perfect. You like that one? Thank you. I would spin this over, but it's not clean on the other side now either, so you'll have to put up with a bit of a messy background. There we go. 2 cards, one quite over the top, one quite straightforward, similar design, just showing you how you can use those stencils in your crafting, and a little bit of blending. Pretty, hey? Bit far for you in person. Oh, bless you. Yeah, it's no, that's the only problem with online, is we've made some really lovely friends, and it's nice to do crafty things with people online, but you can't necessarily get together. Just a little bit too far. But the blends course will be online. I'm not doing that in person. That is all going to be online. We've got quite a few American people interested in that one, which will be good. Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Zana. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. If you stuck with us, thank you. Or if you've just popped in for a little bit here and there, thank you as well. I will... What day? Will I be back next Friday? Let me just have a quick check. Let me check. Okay, I'm getting a bit lost with everything at the moment. Yep, I'm on nights next Friday, so I should be here next Friday, 10 o'clock. I have no idea what we'll be doing yet, but we'll be doing something pretty. Thank you, Mo. Look after yourselves. Yes, you must get out your stencils. Tomorrow, Anne-Marie, the next blends class is tomorrow. I do need to send out an email today. So 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. For anybody who is registered with the blends class, and for everybody else, I'll see you next Friday, if not before, on Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or YouTube. I'm everywhere at the moment. Thank you so much for joining me. Look after yourselves. I'll see you all again very soon. Stay safe, stay warm, stay dry, and stay crafting. See you later, guys. Bye for now.